So when do you even consider being low supply versus it's just being cluster feeding?
That's a really good question. So I'm going to cover a little bit about cluster feeding first, just so there's a bit of a background on what that means. When a baby is cluster feeding, they may be coming to the breast every 30 minutes, every hour and a half. Normally, we will see more of a cluster feed starting in the late afternoon into the evening. The reason for this is a biological piece that's instilled in our bodies and in our babies' bodies. Our breast milk changes, as Christina had mentioned, over the course of a 24-hour period. Early in the morning, our breast milk has more volume to it compared to in the early afternoon and into the evening, where our breast milk actually has a higher fat content. And what causes that change is the removal of breast milk. In the evenings, when a baby is said to be cluster feeding, he or she may be coming to the breast more often and for shorter bursts of time because they're not necessarily getting as much volume, but the trade-off is they're taking in more fat content. Something that is really cool is if a mom was to pump and you were to take a look and see, here's my milk from 6 a.m. versus my milk at 10 p.m., the settling of fat in each bottle will be quite different. So that's a really big reason for a cluster feed. If we're seeing a baby, on the other hand, and we're concerned about low milk supply, that baby may be coming on the breast and we're not seeing a whole lot of swallowing. We're not seeing great output necessarily, and we may also be seeing some issues with their weight gain. So there's a number of pieces that as lactation consultants we take into consideration to kind of build that clinical picture and work with mom a little bit more about what in fact are we seeing. Is it traditional cluster feeding based on time of day, or are we looking at something a little bit more in regards to a low milk supply?